Namaste, Khusro Bitia. I am JVN Devendra Gora, Assistant Professor in Faculty of Education, Jayoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. In continuation of previous lecture, I am going to discuss the function of criticism at the present time. So first we shall begin with Arnold classicalism. His classicism, his love of Hellenic culture, art, literature, that is reflected everywhere in critical writings, and it is also reflected in the every preface to the poems in 1853, which is a kind of manifesto of his critical habits. What he says in the preface, he kept saying throughout his career, and even he wrote the preface in lyrical ballads as well. It reflects not only his style but also his views on the grand style, his theory of poetry, which was later elaborated in the study of poetry. He basically stress on the action, and he began the preface by pointing out the reason why basically he had not included his poems on antenna in the new collections. He had rejected the poems through earlier. He had esteemed it highly because there was very little action. The hero suffered. He bored and boarded over his suffering and finally committed suicide. His suffering did not issue out in action. Therefore, it was not a fit subject for poetry. Mere subjectivity, the inner gloom and melancholy of the poet, morbid preoccupation with thoughts, or to the neglect of action can never result in a great poetry. So poetry of the highest order requires a suitable action, and action sufficiently shall be serious and very weighty. Poetry is dedicated to the joy, and this joy results from the magnificence of its action. Even the tragedy gives joy, for in it magnificently suffering issues out in magnificent action. Basically, what was the subject of his poetry? The subject which can basically impart the highest pleasure. Arnold's again seen when he point out that it is wrong to suppose that modern poets should choose modern subject. Modern subject will not do, for in the modern age there was too much Philistinism. As a result of advance of science and technology, his plea is for the choice of ancient subjects such as were the choice of Homer and Greek masters. The business of the poets is not to praise their age, but to afford to the man who lived in the highest pleasure which they are capable of feeling. If asked to afford this by means of subject drawn from the age itself, they ask what special fitness the present age has from the supplying them. It is immaturely whether they are ancient or modern, so long as they satisfy their taste, is a bidding appeal. But an age wanting in moral grandeur, says Arnold, with reference to his own age, can with difficulty supply such. Therefore, the poets must go to the ancients for the theme. That's all. This session is powered by digital version 2.0, Jayoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Hope you are satisfied with this digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment section. Thank you very much.